So I'm sure everyone saw the debate a week or two ago. I think it was on the 2nd of December in America, 3rd of December in Australia. It was between two pastors. One's a Glober and the other one's a Flurf. And at the end, the Glober basically rage quitted the Flurf, and it was freaking hilarious. But if you haven't seen it, here's the last little bit where Pastor Greg Locke, who's the Glober, kicks out the pastor Dean Odle, who's the Flurf, and it's absolutely glorious.
First of all...
Hello? Is it sunrise or not?
Not at all. I don't agree with you.
Turn his mic off. Get out.
Wow.
You're a Bible denier. You're a Bible denier. You're a Bible denier.
That was glorious. Anyway, I started watching the debate and thought I might do a quick stalk of his YouTube channel and see what he's about. And that third video where he did a curvature test across Mobile Bay in Alabama looked pretty interesting. Now, the video itself was released in May of 2022, but it refers to an observation that was done in April of 2016. And it might be good to remember that because it will be an important part of the observation. Now, he didn't give an exact observer location. He just said they were at North Beach Park in Fairhope, Alabama, and they were looking northwest across Mobile Bay up to the city of Mobile. So I've done my best to work out where they were based on a couple of photos, and my best guess for their coordinates is at the bottom. He does give the observer height for the observation as 6 feet, and judging by these photos, I think the camera is probably around 5 feet off the sand. And what I've seen happen a lot with Flurfs when they go to the beach is they really seem to underestimate just how much the beach slopes away to the water. So like when I was on Jaren's Debatism platform about a month ago, my opponent, Nicholas Quinn, swore up and down that he was 5 feet above the water. But when you analyze his footage, you can actually show that he was at least 10 feet above the water. So yeah, Flurfs are terrible at estimating stuff. You know, who would have thunk it? So of course, Dean Odle used the curve calculator without refraction, which is simply a straight up denial of the measurable density gradient in the atmosphere. And he used an observer height of 6 feet, which, as I said, you know, the true height is probably around 10 to 12 feet. Anyway, he gets a hidden height of 60 feet. I'm really not going to hassle him too hard on the observer height and the coordinates, because you'll see in the next part, it really doesn't matter all that much. I'll just put it out there that if we use a better estimate of around 10 to 12 feet, we'd get a hidden height of around 35 to 40 feet, assuming standard refraction. So here's the money shot. All those cranes and stuff in the foreground are in the Alabama port area, which is around 12.5 miles, and the buildings in the back are actually closer to 14 miles. But what Dean gets all excited about is this boat on the right-hand side. I mean, look at it! I mean, we have no idea what boat it is or how far away it is, but it should be hidden by 60 feet of curvature, right? And we can see the hull sitting in the water. Well, Dean, I know what boat that is. I know what boat that is, even when the observation was done back in April of 2016. So you see that big overhead crane in the middle there, Dean? The one that's in your photo, right on top of the boat? Yeah, that's on Pinto Island, which also happens to be a shipyard. You know what they build in shipyards, Dean? Ships. And the ship they were building in April 2016 was this ship. It's called Ocean Evolution, and it was built by British Aerospace. So the ship belongs to a company called Oceaneering International, and you can see there the new offshore service vessel was built at BAE Systems Southeast Shipyards before the Mobile, Alabama-based facility closed. And that link is from July 2019. And there's a great video on YouTube where you can actually see it being launched into the water. But here's a screenshot from that video where you can get a feel for just how enormous this boat is. And just to confirm that this is the actual boat in Dean's footage, The date that this launch video was posted was in July of 2017, which is about a year after Dean's observation. So hopefully that's pretty obvious now, that this boat is not sitting in the water and there's not 60 feet of missing curvature. But just for completeness, let's do a little analysis on the image. So I did my absolute best to line things up in Google Earth, but you'll see in a second that it's nowhere near perfect. The main thing that I wanted to line up was the overhead crane, but then the buildings behind it were a little bit off. It's possible that maybe the crane is the odd one out, and I should have lined it up with the building heights. Anyway, if you think you can do better, go for it. All right, so let me fade it in and show you where the horizon is. And then fade it back out so that you can see that there is quite a lot of bottom-up obstruction on that ship. And just for clarity, I should point out that sort of funny-shaped building on the right did not exist at the time of Dean's observation. All right, and of course, because flat earthers are very much interested in the truth and would want to correct any honest mistakes, I hit up Dean Odle during the debate and let him know that the boat that he's looking at isn't on the water, it's actually on land. And I even let him know the name of the ship they were building. And then last Thursday, I even sent him the video of it being launched into the water. Now that's almost a week ago. And I just want to draw your attention to that tiny little black dot right here. So Dean has seen all of this, and he saw it almost a week ago. But no response, no acknowledgement, not even a, thanks, I'll look into it. So, Dean, how do you think this might look to your parishioners? Like, to me, it kind of looks like you're hiding something.